Action. Okay. So, hey, what it do, Juic'N Productions? I'm here with a story time. Today's story time will be about my first how I got into my first relationship in the Navy. Um, yeah. So for this story time, I'm gonna change the dude's name to Terry. Okay. So, boom. It all started back in 2020. I got to the ship in like February. It's also my first command, and I get to the ship. I'm getting walked around, getting shown and stuff like that, and I see this one dude. And my first day on the job, like we doing something with shore power on the boat deck, and I see this one dude, his dress whites, nice white man, built good. I was really looking at his ass, and I was like, I looked at my homegirl on the ship, I became friends with, and I'm like, damn, who is that? He got a nice ass. And she was like, yeah, that ass tight. And I looked at her and said, girl, and she a little bit older than me, but shout out to my girl S.A. She already know who she is. Anyways, so, he look at me, I look at him, and I'm a little shy, so I'm like, all right. I just got here. Let me chill out. So he go by his dad, I go by mine. Once we skip a few, we see each other casually on the ship, and we flirting with our eyes, and we'll say hey and like hold a little conversation and then go about our day. And so eventually, I get tired of that, and I'm like, you know what? I'm about to make a move. Like, he ain't made no move yet. I'm about to make a move. So I see him one day. He carrying some folders, and he trying to look all important and stuff. And I'm like, all right, for sure. I'm about to. This the time right now. So I see him, and I stop him. I say, hey, what's up? And he said, hey, how you doing? Stuff like that. And then I get somewhere in the conversation. I'm like, so like, can I get your number? Like, you be flirting with me, I be flirting with you, what's up? And he said, he started turning red. He's like, you want my number? And he's like, I ain't gonna lie, I got a girlfriend. And I was like, that took me back. I said, you got a girlfriend? And then I'm like, in my head, I was a little like, not upset, but I was like, damn, I wouldn't have known the way, you be moving. But I respected it because the military in the whole has a stigma for military people just be cheating. They don't know how to be loyal. So I had some in my eye. So I was like, I respect it, and it low key kind of like turned me on more towards him, because it's like he ain't. I like a man that's like gonna let it be known, like, nah, I got somebody. But it didn't hit me till after the fact. Like, I walk away and he go about his dad, go about mine. We just kind of like leave it at where it's at. And I'm like, why the hell you be flirting with me if you got a girlfriend? Because I know it ain't just me. Anyways, so time goes by, and this is all in like February, March frame. So time goes by, and we end up going underway. I think this is my first underway. And me and my shop, the electricians, we off work. He was a BM, he was in deck department. So we in two different departments. We finally off work for the day, and we're all just chilling in the shop watching movies. And then the phone rang. And my boy picked up the phone. Nobody said anything. So he hung it up, and he was like, that's weird, ghost calling. And I was like, okay, that happens a lot. And they like, yeah, it happens sometimes. Sometimes people just be bored and do stupid stuff. I said, okay. And so then I'm on a computer, and my homeboy in the shop, my coworker, he says, y'all ain't notice how this deck dude just keep walking back and forth in front of the shop door? And I was like, nah, I didn't even see anything. And I should be able to see it, but I'm turned towards the computer. So if I'm facing the computer this way, the front door that way, I should have better, like, it took me a minute to have better, like, knowing of my surroundings. But anyways, yeah. So then the phone rings again, and then my homeboy in the shop answers the phone. He's like, hello? who's this? Oh, who you trying to talk to? And he was like, yeah, she right here. And I looked, and then he hands me the phone, and I'm like, hello? And he's like, it's this dude on the phone. It's like, meet me on the boat deck in 2 minutes by the boats. And I'm like, okay. And then I was like, for what? And he was like, I just want to talk to you. Mind you, it's nighttime. We in the middle of the ocean floating somewhere. And I'm like, new to the ship. So I'm like, bruh, that's weird. I hung up the phone. I was like, who the fuck was that? I didn't even know who it was at the time. I didn't recognize the voice or nothing. And they all talking. It's like, it's that dude with the glasses from Deck. What's his name? And they going in, and my homegirl, she the only other girl in the shop. We became friends, and she walks in, and she's hearing them explain this, and she was like, oh, that's old boy that we saw on the boat deck, the dude that you like, that you think cute. I said, oh, Terry. I had said the wrong name at first, and I was like, damn, I really got to remember his name. Anyways, so I end up going to the boat deck. I tell the people in the shop, I said, if I ain't back, that means he threw me overboard. And so I was kind of scared, bro. Like, what is this? So they laughing and stuff. I go, and he's like, I just want to talk to you. How you doing tonight? Da-da-da-da. And I was like, I'm cool. Like, what's up? He's like, just come sit on the boat, man. I want to talk. I said, all right. So it's small boats on the big boat. Anyways, so I'm sitting on the small boat with him, and we talking and stuff like that. We vibing. We talking about music. He like asking me what my favorite color is, my favorite movies, and this and that. And we getting to know each other. And then it dawned on me, and I'm like, this motherfucker still got a girlfriend. Like, what is you doing? So I'm hurt. I'm like, hold up. I said, so what you want here? Like, it's nice talking to you and stuff, and we cool, but you got a whole girlfriend, don't you? Matter of fact, let me see a picture of your girlfriend. And so I'm not the type to tell somebody that they significant other is ugly or not. Like, that's not my place. Like, you attracted to what you attracted to. Like, if it was my dude and it was the other way around, like, bitch, keep your comments to yourself. Anyways, so I'm like, oh, okay, that's a nice photo, whatever. Yeah, he tells me about their relationship and how it's been rocky, and I'm like, oh, well, he kind of like giving me a different vibe, so I have to bring the vibe back to platonic. I'm like, all right, so check this out. Look, I support you, and I know we both got an attraction for each other or whatever, but you in a whole relationship, so I'll be there for you if you need it. I know things get tough. I'll be a good friend to you, but I ain't gonna make no moves, or we ain't gonna do nothing, cause you in a whole relationship. Like, I'm gonna respect your relationship, like you should. And he's like, yeah, you right. Like, you're just beautiful, and I enjoy being around you. Things such like that. So I'm like, oh, that's nice. We hug it out, and then we go our own ways. Once we skip a few, something happened back home, and I had to get back home, so I took emergency leave. During my leave, I was not texting this man back. I was on a different type of time. I'm big chilling, like, yeah, like, none of that. Like, I text him when I want to text him. Like, this dude in a relationship, so I have no, like, he's not my priority. Like, we're friends, we're cool, but yeah, he was being nice. He was just trying to check on me and this and that. So after I get back from leave, I have to ROM, and this is during the COVID time. So because it's COVID, like, I have to stay in some fucking room for 2 weeks for if I have COVID, or so that I don't spread it if I did, whatever. So it's giving them time to check me out. During my 2 weeks of COVID, me and him hanging out, because it started off by him asking me, he's like, hey, do you want to grab Starbucks? So we go grab Starbucks together. I get cute and stuff, and we go grab Starbucks, and we're talking, and he asks me, like, why I wasn't texting him and stuff while I was on leave, and, like, he thought I was trying to ghost him, and I was like, nah, I had a lot going on, whatever. So yeah, as time goes on during that ROM period, we're hanging out. He took me on dates, like, to Olive Garden. We're chilling at his place, watching stand-up comedy. We're enjoying each other. Like, it was nice. Like, and it was nothing really going on. Like, we was friendly. Like, and I enjoyed being around him. So on a side note, I was dealing with I wasn't dealing with, because I was abstinent for like some time before this. Um, so I was talking to this dude. Let's go call him Trey. Trey was toxic. He was so toxic. He was so fucking toxic. He was mentally and emotionally abusive. Like he was sweet when he wanted to be sweet, but he was one of those dudes that was like, he could do whatever he wanted, and I just only had to deal with him. And I wasn't on that. Like, whatever. I needed that. Anyways, so yeah, he was toxic. And I would hang out with him sometimes. And of course, Terry knew about Trey, but Trey didn't know about Terry. Because for what? Me and Terry was friends. But Terry, I told Terry about Trey from time to time. Trey was black. And so anyways, yeah. I was kind of confiding in Terry about Trey. And, Terry would tell me things like, oh, you don't deserve that, and you could do better, you don't need that in your life, and this and that, and, just trying to show me that, like, how special I actually was, or, like, he would show me, like, how I was special, or tell me things that I needed to hear, support me. And I fucked with that. Like, I was cool with that. And so as time went on, like, I stopped hanging with Trey as much, and I started hanging with Terry more. And, it was moments, like, from us hanging out so much where it was a moment where Terry tried to kiss me, bro. And I got mad, because I'm like, bro, you got a girlfriend. I am not that girl. I said something to him, and I was like, we would never be together. Like, this will never work. Like, don't try that with me. Like, and he was wondering why I was mad. He chasing me outside and this and that. And he's like apologizing. And I told him, like, nah, we will never be together. Like, this will never work. And I think I was just like, because of the situation I had with Trey, like, I felt like Terry's just another guy trying to get in my pants and all this extra. And it just pissed me off, because I thought we was actually, like, just cooling and vibing. And so I stopped talking to him for a little bit, because I was mad. Like, what? And so then he ends up coming by to the Rom Room again. And he's coming to talk to me, and he's apologizing. And then he tells me that he broke up with his girlfriend because he realized, like, if he gonna be doing stuff like that, he shouldn't be dragging somebody else along. And I thought that was, like, real of him. But I was like, oh, okay, that's good for you. And I was like, I'm about to go back in the room. And he was like, well, I hope, like, I didn't ruin our friendship and this and that. He was such a sweet white dude. Like, he was really sweet. And I'm like, yeah, I think about it. Like, I was mean. I was mean as hell. I said whatever I wanted to. But I was a girl that knew she was, like, focusing on healing. And I was still working on a lot of things. So, anyways, to fast forward, yeah, my birthday comes around, and Terry decides he wants to take me out. And I'm like, I have plans with my friends, but after that, you can have me, whatever. So he tells me to dress up real nice, that he was taking me somewhere fancy. So then when I get to his place so that he can drive us, he tells me I look beautiful, and he looked real good. He was wearing, like, a vest and some, like, slacks, and I was like, oh, we about to go somewhere real fancy, okay. And so, something happened with the reservation. He was like, let's just go get Mexican food, and then we can go watch a comedy back at his room, like we always do. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a good night to me. And he felt bad, but I told him, don't feel bad, like, it's okay. And so he's, like, making phone calls privately, and I'm like, okay, cool. While he's doing that and we waiting on the food, Trey texts me. He's like, I know it's your birthday, this and that. I got something I want to give you. I just want to talk. I know we ain't talked in a while. Some things had, like, happened, and that's a story for a different time, but he had messed up, basically. We hadn't been talking. And so I'm like, yeah, all right, I'll let you know when I can swing by to see you, because he was like 30 minutes from that base that I was at. So Terry comes back, and it's crazy. Terry comes back with the food. We get in the car, we on our way back to his place. We go to his place, and as soon as we walk through the door, he had been acting real nervous on the way there, and I was just wondering why. And so this man had one of his friends decorate his whole apartment with flowers and bouquets, and like making like my name out in petals, and it had like this big bin with my 2 favorite wines in there, and a cupcake with my birthday, my age on it, and a happy birthday card. And I walked in, I just seen everything, and I was in tears. Like, it was the nicest thing any man has ever done for me. And I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Like, thank you, you know. And then he gives me a little speech, and he's like, I did this because you a queen and you deserve to be showed how you should be treated. Like, you shouldn't be treated anything less. Like, I remember that forever. Like, he said a lot of other stuff, but that stick to me because I was at a time in my life where I was low, and he saw past that. He seen that. And, you know, he did this as a friend, but I knew it was feelings involved, but he did this to show me that. And it was just like the nicest thing ever. And so we chilling, and then Trey texts me. We about to eat our food and watch the comedy, and Trey texts me. And I'm like, yo, and he calls me. He starts blowing on my phone. I'm like, hold on, Terry, give me a second. I got to take this. I go in the living room, and he's in the bedroom, and I'm talking to Trey, and Trey's like, hey, I want to see you, whatever. I got to give you something. We need to talk. This time apart had showed me some things, whatever. So I'm like, all right, yeah, here I come. So I go back in the room with Terry, and I'm like, hey, Terry, I'm about to dip out. One of my friends need help, and I'll be right back. You cool with that? He was like, oh, yeah, that's fine. I'll wait for you. I was like, no, you can go ahead and eat and stuff. And he was like, nah, like, it's your birthday. I want to wait for you. He's like, are you going to be long? I'm like, I don't know how long it'll take. I said, but I'll be back. He's like, all right. So I put my shoes on. As I walk out the door, I realized, like, I'm about to leave this nice man who went all the way out of his way to do everything for me. Just so what? So this toxic man can go right back to his old ways and treat me like shit. And it stuck to me. Like, it's like Terry said, like, I needed to be treated like a queen, and I shouldn't accept anything less. And I'm like, you know what? What am I doing? I must have texted Trey and said, I ain't coming to see you, we done, whatever, and came back in the house, and Terry was like, with a smile on his face, he's like, I thought you had something to do. And I was like, nah, it's good. They got it handled. They can do without me. I'm here to spend time with you. I appreciate all the nice things you've done for me today. And he was like, it's no problem at all. I'll do it again in a heartbeat. And I was like, fluttered. I thought that was just so cute. And so, anyways, we end up chilling and stuff like that. And we continue to hang out as days go by, weeks pass. And his birthday comes, we hang out. His Navy anniversary comes, and he decides, like, he want us to hang out. And he had, like, something planned. We had to go to Sunset Beach. But it ended up being bad weather, so we stayed inside. And he started, like, acting real nervous again. And I'm like, what he doing now? So he decides to go in his closet. He grabs something and comes back and was like, I've been thinking about this for a while now. We've been hanging out for a minute. And he gets down on one knee and he says, Tanisha Willis, I promise not to hurt you. I promise not to do. And I'm thinking, what is he doing? And he opens a box with a fortune carrier ring in it. And I'm like, what? And he's like, will you be my girlfriend? And I'm like, yo, I know you lying. And I start crying. And I remember now, like, one of the conversations we had in the past was like, I was like, I ain't accepting to be nobody's girlfriend unless they ask me with a promise ring. And I didn't think he would really do it. And he really got the ring and asked me. And, and I told him yes. And that's how me and him ended up together. And we dated for about a year and a half before things ended. And it was one of the best relationships I had in my life. So So yeah, shout out to Terry. I appreciate you, my man. You taught me a lot. But please subscribe, like, comment. Tell me about your similarities, what you learned, maybe your own experiences with your first relationship. That wasn't my first relationship, but if you've been in the military, first relationship in the military. And yeah, signing out.